Is free speech really all that important? So we are here at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, where the school has spent over $16,000 on their new inclusive language program. The school basically spent the cash and glorified sensitivity training, and students have even been asked to sign a pledge to use inclusive language and to help their peers understand the importance of using inclusive language according to campaign materials, which includes an actual list of unacceptable words.
We are going to make a do not mock list.
Let me be clear, this is not going to be one of those gotcha, oh, they're so stupid videos. We'll never do that here again. The goal here was to actually sit down and have conversations with students on campus regarding the First Amendment. And the truth is, their views on free speech are more shocking than any sensationalism could ever hope to be. Do you have any opinion on the inclusive language?
Yeah, it's definitely something that hasn't been brought to awareness.
I think it's really great. I think it's really important to use inclusive language because I guess the university is trying to like stop discriminating people by their language.
Fields are alternative.
Who do you represent?
Myself, Stephen Crowder.
Okay.
Does that sound like a good idea, bad idea?
I think it sounds good.
Okay, so it sounds good.
I would say it's a good idea.
Okay.
Definitely, because a lot of times people will use language, and they don't mean to be brass or harsh. They just don't know.
I think it makes sense to create an environment where like people don't feel threatened by like, because it could hit like a sensitive spot with someone.
See, your right to freedom of speech is rarely taken away by the sword.
Surrender will not happen. For the last time, surrender!
But under the guise of making a better country for all of us. And with these students, even when given a lifeline, about the First Amendment free speech issue.
Free speech, as long as it doesn't like harm another individual, that's the way I feel it. And while it may not cause physical harm, like a lot of people, it does like hurt them emotionally.
At what point is free speech, the First Amendment, more valuable than not hurting someone's feelings? Where do you think that line should be?
I guess it depends on the person, like what you personally believe. Like if you're okay with like not using certain words or if you feel infringed.
But see, that's the thing. Freedom of speech cannot only apply to individuals. Freedoms either apply to everyone or no one. Otherwise, ironically enough, freedoms become discriminatory. Now, as far as balancing freedoms with what people actually find offensive, the problem is nobody we interviewed actually agreed on what was truly offensive. Some of the words that you can't say, fag. Both agree.
Good, yeah.
Good. I'll read one, you read one.
Okay.
Gypped.
Tranny.
Raghead.
I've never heard that one.
You've never heard that one?
No.
Oh, okay, you apparently don't play Call of Duty. What if I were to tell you that you just earlier, you didn't even realize that you used a word that's offensive that you shouldn't be saying?
Oh, I did?
You did.
What word?
Well, it offended me, and I'll tell you why. Insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, you can say crazy.
Insane. These are from U of M.
Yeah, you can say insane, that with me.
Retarded.
Agree.
Illegal alien.
Agree.
Even my iPhone's frozen. It's crazy.
I'm pretty sure that's offensive. I wouldn't say it. But.
So you're not even clear on it anymore. Fag.
Illegal alien.
Fag.
Oh, definitely. Not
Okay.
be allowed.
Ghetto.
Agree.
Ghetto.
Yep.
Ghetto.
Not be allowed. Yeah, you could say ghetto.
Obviously, you're an African-American gentleman. If you read this...
Well, I can say myself Negro.
Negro? Good Lord. If I said that, I would have imagined you punched me right in the face.
No. Well, one's thoughts and opinions does not have to be one's reality, right?
Even that professor was offended by today's politically correct term in African-American, which means, who knows, maybe in 10 years, that'll be hate speech.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
Which reminds me, when looking at this list of unacceptable words, did anyone else find a glaring mistake? Picture the most prejudiced, racist, harming word.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it though.
As far as a racial discriminatory slur.
The N-word?
No, but it's not on there.
Yeah, you're right.
But you're not gonna say it.
No.
Now, why is it that you just said fag, ghetto, retarded, raghead, but the N-word? What's the word?
I'm not gonna say it.
So even though the campus tries to act as though words like crazy or tranny are as offensive, they won't even write, let alone think of saying the word The word Oh, come on! Isn't that a little bit of proof that There isn't a moral equivalency between saying it's crazy cold or calling someone the N-word?
I don't think so, because if you look at the words that are listed there, like fag is another term for cigarette in Europe. The N-word like has so much historical backing to it.
Right.
That I don't know. I just don't.
Exactly, it's different.
Yeah.
It's not the same as crazy.
Yeah.
Now, this video is important not so you can send it to your friends and go, oh, these kids are stupid, because they're not. They're not stupid, and it's not really their fault. They're young, and their minds are moldable. It's the fault of their professors. It's the fault of their parents. It's the fault of an entirely liberal-leaning mainstream media, more importantly, an entertainment industry. But most of all, it's the fault of conservatives who have entirely conceded this territory, namely anyone under the age of 65, to the point that as our republic gradually circles the drain, these kids have never even heard, not once, an opposing viewpoint like ours. How many times have you ever heard anyone with my point of view or ask these questions on campus? You should be able to say whatever you want, and no one should be able to tell you any different. Honestly, how often do you hear that? Pardon my language.
No, you're fine. I guess not very often. Maybe people are afraid to say that.
So maybe we're talking about all different kinds of diversity on campus, except intellectual diversity?
That's really interesting. Yeah, I guess.